I know, having a bad bench is pretty embarrassing. Where instead, you want to be like this. Well, in this video, I'm going to give you everything you need to know in order to get a stronger bench fast. First, we're going to start off with the obvious. If you're in a calorie deficit, cut, shred, whatever you like to call it, you can't expect your strength to go through the roof. The more calories and carbohydrates you have, the more energy output. The first tip we're going to focus on is hand placement. Over to you, Troy. So when we come over here and look at the barbell, we can see there's grooves all throughout the bar, but there's one in specific that we're going to use. So if we put our hands out to shoulder width apart, you can see there's a ring to the side of it going the whole way around the bar. You see where a lot of people go wrong is they just use the shoulder width apart, which is fine, but they only use the interior delts, where instead we want to involve as much muscle groups as possible. So for hand position, what I like to do is get this ring. I like to put my ring finger around it so it's slightly wider than shoulder width apart. The wider grip involves more range of motion for the chest. So another thing, Troy, explain the points of contact. So the 5 points of contact. 1 being your feet. Heels against the floor, close enough to your body. 2nd, being the bum. 3rd point of contact is the upper back. We want to create an arch. Our lower back is not touching the bench. This is for range of motion. 4th point of contact is going to be your head against the bench, because what a lot of people do is they look at the barbell while they're doing it when they could have more force output by placing it against the bench. 5th point of contact is going to be your hands, which explained before is going to be slightly wider than shoulder width apart. And don't forget the most important thing when pushing weight. That's a really good point. So when pushing a lot of weight, we really want to make sure we don't stack our wrists. Here's what I mean. So which looks better to you? This bench press or this bench press? Yeah, that's right. You probably didn't even see the difference, but there was a big problem with that. Stacking the wrists where our knuckles are facing behind us. What this is doing is putting a lot of pressure on the wrist and not really involving the elbow joint as well. So what we want to do is knuckles to the ceiling. So this next hack is very important. We need upper back tightness. And what I mean by that is this. So Joe, if you wouldn't mind putting this pen in between my back muscles. Exactly. Do you know what I mean? Now we really want to maintain this upper back tightness. So obviously you don't have to keep that pen in between your back muscles, but you want to pretend like it's there. Okay, Troy, thanks for that. Now explain where the bar should hit on your chest on the way down, and also how you plan to progress that. Now we want to aim for the bar to hit our lower chest right across our nipple line. Also when benching, we want to make sure when it gets to the lower chest, we think of the bar exploding. So when it comes down, you want to get that up as quick as possible. You can even give it a quick bounce off the chest. Now this tip is really stopping you progress. So a lot of people bench like this, and you're probably going to straight away say, what's wrong with that? Before, they were flared out. Now, you're bending inwards and coming closer to the body. This is going to cause less shoulder pain, less elbow pain, and we're just going to make it a more smooth movement. Now we also want to make sure to progress our bench press, we don't neglect other exercises. So we still have incline dumbbell press, we still have cable flies for our chest, we also still have lat pull down for our back, bicep curls and tricep extensions for our triceps. We want to build up every single muscle group. As we know, the bench press is a compound movement which isn't only relying on the chest, so we want to make sure we progress everything around it to supply our chest. Okay, so that's technique. Now what you're going to do if you plateau, meaning you stop progressing whatsoever. As we mentioned before, if you aren't doing this, the more calories you have in your body, the more it'll help you. Especially a structured pre-workout meal. Something high in carbohydrates, which are foods along all sides of the screen right now. Well, now into the important part, how you should train. If the bar isn't moving for 1 rep maxes, you're going to need to switch it up. You're going to be focusing on 2 things. High volume and controlled negatives. So if you have a spotter, this is great news. Put a weight that you can only get 1 rep on. You're going to unrack it, you're going to control the negative by yourself, and he is going to help you to the top and repeat. So you are only controlling the negative, not the positive. Week in, week out, you're going to have to track your workouts, whether that's on a phone or a workout book. And every single week, you're going to attempt to go for either an extra rep or more weight. And for this, with your high volume, 6 to 9 reps is perfect. Tell them what to do, Troy. Good point, I nearly forgot. For more helpful gym tips like that, subscribe to this channel and turn the bell notifications on so you do not miss out on any further video. With that being said, I'll see you all in the next one.